You know, I should probably get a better transition for my screen, but for now it's just gonna be like this one. Pop. Hello, lads. It is I, Sir Bobby Buvett, welcoming you back to It Gets So Lonely Here. It gets so lonely. Oh my god. Anyway, we're gonna do the village route. And look, I'm holding my precious sword today because I want it to be different. Peep the drip. Look, look, look. Peep the PNG drip. Oh wait, I'm just gonna check my audio if I actually sound okay. Wait. You might hear some doubling, but hey. Okay, okay. My audio is pretty chill, but yeah. Peep the drip. We're gonna be showcasing the drip today. But I'm gonna put this on the side because yes, I hope it doesn't cover up anything. I'm gonna make myself smaller. Just a little teeny tiny small. I'm yapping because I do want to yap first before we actually proceed to the game. Oh, I see this extras. What is this? Music. That's cool. That's cool. There's certain musics. I think this is for the village route, which is cool. I love me some villagers. Let me just check my OBS if everything is doing okay. Oh, oh, oh. There you go. A pretty browser. Yes, we're gonna continue with a bit. Hello. Should I keep? Hello. Yes. Hello. Hello. Should I keep talking like this? Let's see. Hopefully. Okay. There's two people here. I'll just start. Hopefully you can hear me clearly. I don't know why I'm talking like this, but I kinda just want to talk like this more. Wait, let me just check my audio again. Oh yes, we're pretty good. The audio's pretty nice. I think we're gonna continue it a bit. Yes. Yes, and I do plan on playing more visual novels soon. This is just kind of like the introductory, just a yappa yapatron. Again, peep the drip. Look at my sword. I call my sword, I'm Sir Bobby, but I'll call this sword, what, I don't know. Uh, Dobby. Yes, this is Dobby. My sword's name is Dobby. Bobby and Dobby. I almost said Doobie, but you know that's not my name, and it may cause me some trouble. Anyway, let's just continue. How do I load? Here you go. This is the option. Okay, I'll get ready my voice. Go to the village. It says, let's go. So you want to go to the village? Good idea. I'm not covering anything, am I? Okay, we're good. We're good. Okay. Let us see what further trials await you there. This night is far from over as much as you might wish it was, and there's still much more to discover. I wonder what will happen next. I wonder too, but I think I know what will happen. I think I'm gonna die by the hands of another beautiful lady. Another beautiful lady will kill me. Beautiful lady, that is a must. Yes, yes, I agree. Getting killed by a beautiful lady is fun, so it's fine. Daijoubu desu. Anyway, let's continue. I'm yapping too much. You follow the path which leads to the village, supporting yourself on weary, aching limbs. You feel ready at the moment notice. Just snap at the knee beneath the burden of your weight. The soles of your feet are screaming at you. You need to lie down and quickly. You only hope as you continue to run that you will find a suitable residence in which to rest at the village. You do not know what will await you at the village, but you have visions as you run out of a quaint, scenic settlement, all thatched cottages with sloping roofs. Surely there will be a kindly peasant who will be willing to put up a young runaway for a few nights. Surely. You can imagine too, The face of this kindly peasant from the fairy tales you read in an abundance as a small child. You know, these fairy tales are a scam. At the castle, we was like, oh, fairy tale! A beautiful princess will come and save us, but no! The beautiful princess killed us and possibly ate us. Who knows? And then at the ocean, we were like, oh my god, mermaids, just like in the fairy tales. And that ended badly too. So I think we're pretty delulu when it comes to this part. So yes, I'm just gonna put myself at the side like here again. Oh, very cool. Yes. Aww. Yosh. Okay. By the way, let's continue. You can imagine too the face of this kindly. Okay, I literally just read this. I'm stupid. She'll be broad-shouldered and ruddy-faced, with dull brown hair crammed beneath the cap. Her arms will be sturdy from many years of washing clothes and milking cows, but she will be kind to you and compassionate, just like a mother. Mummy issues, so by the way, look at this. She got mummy issues. We got mummy issues. Oh, freak. The freak is happening here. Wow. Whoa. Anyway, you don't know what mothers are like. You hardly ever spoke to yours. See? You are only guessing. You are not a complete fool, however, despite your tendency to daydream, and you do have a few reservations. Peasants do not, as you know from your voracious reading, have much money, nor do they have much food. It might be hard to convince a resident of the village, even the kindly washerwoman of your fantasies, to take in a complete stranger. Still, you must try. You must. We still don't know who the freak is chasing us, by the way. This is just raggedy hope, I guess. That is all you can do, really. So you run to the village. It takes some time before you finally emerge from the woods. But finally, you manage it. How much time, you ask? I cannot answer that. Could I not say that time had begun to lose all its meaning? The forest is behind you now, at least, and all the awful nightmares which dwelt within it. It is still cold, though, and still foggy. It is still dark, too. The sun is yet to rise. Creepy. You can see the moon more clearly now, too, as it hangs above your head, round as any pearl or orb or crystal ball. I feel like I said that before. I just can't remember when. That bar with the pearl, orb, crystal ball. I feel like I did, you know? It sounds familiar, this visual novel. Anyway, the moonlight shines down upon the village, nestled among the hills like a diorama. Hope anew bubbles within you. You have finally made it. Surely not, but your salvation awaits you. You follow the winding dirt path to the village, looking this way and that. But your hope, such a precious, fragile thing, soon begins to fade. The village shop close does not look half as welcoming as you imagined. So I'm curious, is the village that the mermaid was speaking about from last time? I feel like it is. Because she said there's like an abandoned village. There's like a girl who visits her. She's gone. Maybe we'll know the lore here. I don't know. Let me just fix my chief. There are cottages, yes, but they are in a state of disrepair. There are holes in the roofs and holes in the windows. Most of the doors are tightly shut, but others are gaping open. The kitchens beyond them even darker than the night sky which shrouds you. There are no lights in any of the windows, and neither can you see any people. Insomniacs like you. Damn, you cannot hear anything either beyond the sound of your own footsteps and the low, mournful sighing of the wind. The village is quiet, really quiet. Eerily so. It is immediately obvious, even to a naive girl such as yourself, that something terrible must have befallen to this village. You know, before you try to look... What? I did not read that properly. You know, before you try your luck at one of the houses, that nobody will answer you. There will be no kindly red-armed washerwoman to welcome you here, no matter how much you wish for it. I sound delulu, bro. But that does not stop you from wishing regardless. Your knuckles rap smartly against the wooden door. Your efforts soon prove, however, to be in vain. There's nobody here to hear your entreaties. Entreaties. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. Is it entry, but they just made it fancy? I think, right? Maybe, maybe not. How very sad. The sad part about that is me trying to understand that word. But yeah, you try another door, then another, but the result is the same. Regardless of how many doors you rap upon, nobody answers you. How could they? There is nobody there. Once again, you have found yourself all alone. Please, you have found some dwellings in which you can rest your weary head. Will you utilize one of these cottages for your purposes? Nobody's here, you might as well. But no, an abandoned cottage is not what you're looking for. I'm looking for a maiden. Ojo-sama. You would far rather have companionship, would you not? Bravely, you swallow your tears. You wipe your eyes with the back of your arm with a well-practiced motion, then inhale. What do you mean, well-practiced motion? Am I an expert with wiping my tears with the back of my arm? Is that what you're saying, game? Okay, that's what probably what you're saying. It's just that I'm sad, you know? You square your shoulders, whatever the fuck that means, and you keep on going. Surely the village cannot be completely deserted. There must be one person here at the very least who can help you. That is what you are thinking as you resume your search. You flit from cottage to cottage with pressure little to show for your determination, until you make yet another discovery. Oh, the medieval sounding. Oh, it's a perfect day. Good thing I brought my sword, Dobby. Oh yeah, this sounds very Game of Thrones-ish, you know? I love Game of Thrones, but not with that freaking... I love season 1 to 5. I mean, season 1 to 6 Game of Thrones. 7 to 8 is non-canon to me. A way to actually protect myself. This village, with its squat thatched cottages bathed in the moon's glow, has a church. Well, of course, it has a church. The villagers who once dwelt here were not godless heathens. Not that their fate did them all that much good in the end. Still, the sight of the church soothes your overtaxed heart. You're so focused on your fantasies of a kindly washerwoman taking you in, you did not possibly entertain the fancy of a kindly nun doing the same. All hope is not lost. We're just looking for girls to riz upon, huh? You approach the church, which seems to tower over you despite being so humble. The church is small, but it is stout and sturdy. It must be, for it has withstood centuries, forever standing sentinel on this hill like a relic from a bygone era. Why can't I say that properly? The church does not have any stained glass windows, but it does not need them. Even without more luxurious trappings, the church still exudes an aura of dignified solemnity. The aura is insane. The stone building is fringed by a sizable graveyard, one which occupies the rest of the hilltop and some of its sloping sides. The graves, which have been planted by generations of wardens, are hewn from a similar stone to that which the church walls are made out of. Is the music too loud? Huh. It's gonna fix that. I feel like it's loud. For me, it's too loud. I don't know. This is gonna be like a 2-hour reading and yappa yappa again, so I'm just gonna take my time and make it 2 hours, you know? Make it even 3 hours if I can. Let's see. The graves which have been planted by generations. I just read that. I'm stupid. Some of the gravestones are shaped like lods. I don't know what that means. But the sight of that makes me scared. I don't know why. While others are shaped like crosses. A handful of headstones are even shaped like angels, so these are few and far between. There are very few people in the village such as this one who can afford such luxurious final resting places. That is scary, you know. Graveyards always scare the crap out of me. You look at the tombstones with an almost childlike curiosity, forgetting in your examination of the visceral, heart-rending fear which gripped you as you ran through the forest. You are out of the woods now, and you have subconsciously already begun to relax. You try to read the names turned into... Wait a minute! I'm just gonna fix something. It's too hot, I'm gonna turn on the AC, wait. Burby, real quick, just speed run real quick, okay? I'm just gonna peek out my hair like this so that I can grab this up. Wait. Hey, la 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 la. I turned on the AC. We're good now. I'm gonna go climb back up. I'm climbing back up. We're good. There you go. Yes. Okay. Anyway, where am I? You try to read the names. I think I read this. But it's dark, you're tired, and some of these graves are very, very old indeed. Oh crap, my phone. I was checking my audio. Okay, my mic on. Everything's on. You strain your eyes, but you don't have much luck in this endeavor. Oh well, such super oh my gosh, this is some deep ass English words. I don't know English, man. Are not important. You eventually tire up examining the graves in turn. This graveyard is an expensive one. Unusually, I can't read this today. What? Unusually, so given the village itself is so small, how can it boast so many corpses and there's much to explore? You walk about the perimeter of the church, casting your gaze first and then everywhere, consumed as you are by your immense, all-encompassing curiosity, and as you do, you see her. Oh my goodness! Hey, Riz time! She looks like an ordinary girl, small and scrawny, just like yourself, but she is much more than her unremarkable appearance might suggest. She is utsukushi. Utsukushi dakara. For some moments you observe her hiding all the while in the shadow cast by the church like a furtive lizard clinging against a rocky edifice to shroud itself in the sun. What? There's no sunlight here though. There's only the night sky and the stars and the moon. Beneath the moon's light, a silvery implement the girl is clutching shimmers. A-ching! It takes you a few moments to see what it is that the girl is clutching in her hands. It's not until you see her manipulate it, its sharp edge biting into the earth, that you understand it is a shovel. A crooked shovel at that. Look at that. Ooh, look at that thing. It's crooked, but damn. She is pretty. I really love the style of the art of this game. It's fun. This girl is standing in an isolated corner of the churchyard late at night, and she is digging a grave. Is she stealing? Well, you suppose she could always be digging a hole for the sake of it, but her work seems too precise for this to be the result of a mere whimsy. Mere whimsy, what? It is hard for you to see her face given the distance between the pair of you, but her posture is one that speaks of a supreme concentration. So she's locked in. So she's just locked in. She moves slowly, mechanically, like a robot, like a automation, like a woman on a mission. Oh gosh, I did not meant for that to rhyme like that, but hey, it rhymed and it's kind of funny. I laugh at my own because I'm the only one here, sadly. Anyway, driving the end of her shovel into the earth and over, her motions were regular enough to be repetitive. There is something hypnotic almost in the manner in which she attends this task. Should you risk interrupting her? Hell yeah, you get the feeling that she would not appreciate it. Let's just do it. Why not? We already died twice. What's the worst thing could happen, right? The shovel in her hands, meanwhile, is rather hefty. I don't know what that means. If she wished it, she could cause you no small amount of damage with it. Cold anxiety makes your skin prickle. You do not know if you should risk speaking to her when she, in her dark cloak, with her shovel, looks so very strange. But what do you have left to lose? You have come this far. It would be folly to turn back now. It is with this thought in your mind that you decide to approach the strange girl. Want to know what happens? Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z. Sorry. I just had zoomies there, like a momentary zoomies. I'm sorry. My PNG is acting up. I don't know what's happening. Your footsteps are quiet. You have grown accustomed to slinking around like a cat, but they are not quite enough. The girl's senses must be finely tuned because she blinks. Oh, she's looking at me. I'm dead. Then she turns. There we go. Oh, security time. Your eyes met. And once they do, you feel your breath catching your throat. You didn't have a clear view of this girl before, concealed as you were in the shadows, but now she is looking at you. You can tell that she is pretty. Again, our weakness, our Bijan ladies, I guess. Her skin is very smooth, and her hair, though obscured by a dark hood, is very fair. Her eyes, meanwhile, are clear, blue like ice. Those eyes of hers, which are large, with an ease, are fringed with very long, fair eyelashes. She looks as though she has stepped out of the pages of a picture book. She is simply too perfect to belong to this world. Simp alert again. Perhaps she is some kind of vision, a waking dream, a hallucination. But no, she is none of those things. The shovel she is clutching in her hands looks solid enough, its pointed tip glittering wickedly in the moonlight. You steel yourself, expecting perhaps some sort of outburst, but the tension soon drains from the girl's slender shoulders. Her fingers, which once were gripping the handle of her shovel, tightly relax. Is the wrist working? Her lips curve upwards at the edges. She's smiling. And what a smile it is. It is transformative. This is a trap. This is a lure to get us back in, and we're gonna die again, because that's the formula, and these routes we're surely gonna die. When she smiles, she looks radiant, angelic, almost. Hers is a smile that is so suffused with light that your eyes begin to prickle from it. You're so relieved, you almost feel like you could cry. That's crazy. Imagine seeing a girl that you never met before, by the way, a stranger, and then just a look from them, you could cry. That's crazy work, bro. That's crazy. That's crazy, man. It would not be the first time you have wept during this night, and neither would it be too surprising if you did. You have been through a lot. You must be exhausted. The girl holding the shovel seems to realize this, because she bridges the distance between you cautiously, as one might approach a skittish cat. Then she says in a rough voice which does not match her dainty appearance. Well, she does live in a rural village. I can't pronounce words like this. Rural. I don't know, I can't. What were you expecting? I don't know what voice should I give her. I don't know. I can't do voice act. Let me just think. Oh. No. That's not gonna work for me. I don't know. I don't know what do I want from her. I'm just gonna talk normally because freaking I'm just a narrator. I'm just yappa yappa. Yes. Maybe. Oh, it's so good to see another person. I was afraid I was the only person left alive, the only one in the whole world. Now this is quite the effusive greeting. Her introductory speech is riddled with exclamation marks. She's rather more personable than her apparel would make one suggest. You, a well-bred young lady, cannot help but feel overwhelmed. It is your turn now, to be on guard. Anxiously, you observe the girl with the shovel, and you ask her what she means. What happened? Oh, do you not know? There's an awful lot you do not know, so much in fact it would fill a whole encyclopedia. That's crazy. Encyclopedia is insane. You shake your head. Shaking my head, shaking my PNG in shame. At your ignorance, and the girl frowns. You mustn't be from around these parts. I guess I should have known. This village is a small one, and everybody knows everybody else. The girl's expression falls. At least they used to, back when there was still people to know. That ain't the case now, though not after the plague. A plague? There was a plague and I did not know. Okay, I'm stupid. I do not read the news, my bad. It would certainly explain why the village when you walked to it was so quiet. Did everybody else succumb to this mysterious illness? That's right, it's just me here now. I've not seen another human being in a long time. It gets so lonely here. Oh, she said it. She said it. We're gonna die. She said the title. That means we're dead. We're cooked. So yes, I guess that's what happens to the mermaid's friend too. Died. Maybe. Plague. Yeah. But yeah, title drop, mic drop. Now that's an interesting turn of phrase. It catches inside your head like a burr. Have you heard of it before? Twice, actually. We heard it twice, but we somehow forgot. Yeah. You do not have much time to ponder this, however, because the girl takes a step towards you. Oh, where are my manners? They must have gone rusty after being on my own for so long. My apologies, miss. You've come a long way. You said you were a traveler, yes? And your hands are very cold, just like ice. Would you like to come inside, maybe have something warm to eat and drink? My home's small, and I'm afraid that my food ain't nothing fancy, but we're more than willing to share. It's not every day another girl stops by, especially not as one as pretty as yourself. I'm feeling very blessed. She's rizzing us and it's working. God forbid, beautiful woman. The girl laughs, a carefree, airy sort of a laugh which does not match your initial impression of her. You thought when you saw her among the graves that she would be more distant somehow and more mysterious. Perhaps you're mixing her up with somebody else. Maybe two people, like the mermaid and the queen, the princess? You're still unsure if you can trust this girl, but her invitation is an appealing one. If you can't trust her, then just go, bro. What the hell? It's much more appealing, certainly, than spending the night outdoors in the cold, keeping on the graves. What are you, a romantic poet? Please, you make a show of pondering the girl's invitation. At the very least, I don't want to appear too eager. But you're, that's a big word. I'm not reading that. Yeah, why would you ever refuse her? She is the first friendly face you have seen all night. Without her, you would be all gone. Yes, that's true. Yes. Your hostess leads you to a small, humble home located but a stone's throw away from the church, built in the shadow of the twisted, towering sky. I did not read that properly. The girl's home in such a state it seems a folly to even call it a home. Hey, don't judge another person's home. That's rude. Main character that I don't know the name of. We still don't know her. Hovel would to you be the more appropriate descriptor. But when your hostess leads you inside, her eyes alive, and she says, "Here we are, home sweet home," you don't have the heart to tell her that you don't find her home very homey or very sweet. That's freaking rude, the frig. It would be incredibly rude. As a guest, you ought to be more appreciated. That's not too bad. Yeah. The frig? I mean, that's not too bad. Let's examine the home real quick. Sure, it's dusty at these parts, and sure, it's just made out of wood and one fire in it, and it's all gone. But sure, it's full of cobwebs, but it's a roof. It's a square with a roof at the end of the day, and it will protect us from the rain. Probably, maybe. I hope so. Yeah, I hope. Half-heartedly, you look around your newfound surroundings. The ceiling is supported by wooden joist, and it is pretty loosely. I can't read that. Not so much that you are in danger of bumping your head, but just enough to feel claustrophobic. There's a fire in the corner, though it is not consigned to a grate. The fire instead is blazing in the open. A circle of logs set alight like a scene from a witch's kitchen. I've never met a witch before, which is insane. I want to meet one, you know. Above the fire hangs a silvery pot suspended from one of the wooden eaves. What if she's like the girl, like the witch from Hansel and Gretel? Then we're cooked, right? Yeah. Other objects of interest are hung up from the eaves. Iron implements you take to the cooking utensils, various herbs, and strips of meat left to cure. The smell of cooking fills in the air, mingled with the sharp, sour scent of unwashed bodies. How you wonder, does your hostess clean herself? You do not see a bathtub anywhere. Maybe she bathes at a nearby waterfall or something. Do not judge her. Does she stink? Perhaps she does not possess one. The girl's home is unremarkable in every regard, but it is, you suppose, better than nothing. At least there's a roof over your head, that's what I said earlier. At the end of the day, a square with a roof, and food to be put in your belly. The girl looks to the pot suspended over the fire, which she gives a stir with the ladle. Then she brings the ladle to her lips to taste whatever concussion she has brewing within it. You can only hope that she is not like the weird sisters from that famous play brewing a broth with fanny snake fillets. Yes, I think this is just about done. The girl says to nobody in particular. Maybe she's just like monologuing, you know, just like what I'm doing right now. I'm talking to nobody, basically. She sets the ladle down, back into the pot, then looks to you and smiles. And smiles. You want something? It looks as though you've come quite a long way. You must be so hungry. These words are like music to your ears. Even more divine than the trumpets of God's most loyal angels is crazy. It's a crazy statement, but agreed. You're so hungry you could eat a horse. For legal sakes, I do not eat a horse. This is just a metaphor. So yes, I don't eat horse. Thank you. Not that there are any horses in the immediate. No, don't say that. We don't eat horses here. Express your interest to your hostess, who smiles in response. I thought you'd like the sound of that. Just give me a few moments. Please, I don't want to be fed a horse. Your hostess retrieves two earthenware bowls from a cupboard with rickety hinges into which she pours 2 hefty helpings of whatever it is she is cooking. Let her cook. This she serves with bread, which is so hefty it could be used as a murder weapon. Oh, don't give her ideas. It's not much, but I'm afraid it's only soup and bread. It should take the edge off your appetite, though. You thank your hostess for her hospitality, your stomach rumbling all the while. The soup does not look like anything you would typically consume, but the soup's poor presentation does not dissuade you. Maybe it tastes good. It is true enough that people eat first with their eyes, but when one is hungry enough, one becomes obliging enough to eat almost anything. When you're hungry, bread can taste like A5 Wagyu. Let's be real. Why else do you think that people, when stranded upon desert islands, will resort to cannibalism? Mmm. Did you guys hear that? Did you guys see that dialogue? Cannibalism. Is this foreshadowing? I don't like the sound of that. Can I just escape here? Like, what if all people here are dead because she ate them all? Hannibal over here, anyway. Anyway, let me... I don't know. I am assuming right off the gate, but I actually don't know. Humans are creatures of necessity. You like to wrap yourselves up in pretentious, but in actuality, you are not much better than animals. You are so hungry your stomach is achingly empty that you certainly descended upon your food like an animal. Your teeth glint, your incisors gleam, and soon you have consumed all that your hostess has offered you. Your hostess watches you while you eat, and she giggles when you have finished. Did you enjoy that? Oh, you catch your hostess' gaze, suddenly abashed. You were so hungry you failed to account for her judgment. Now you have some food in your belly, though you have been suitably warmed. Your old self-consciousness is returning. Did you not make a fool of yourself? Maybe not. You demur shyly, looking at your lap, fearful all the while of what your hostess might think of you. You don't want her to take against you. Fortunately for you, however, and for your fragile ego, your hostess is not the judgmental sort. That's pretty good. But she is the cannibal sort, I think. She is not like the girls you grew up with. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. It's nice to see my food being appreciated so heartily. Giggles, blushes slightly. I know I'm not the best, but I've been practicing for a long while. I used to cook for my father all the time, see? Okay. This remark catches your attention. Quizzically, you look at your hostess, her abashment over your animalistic eating habits suspended. What happened to her father? Did she eat her father? It would be an insane plot twist if she actually did eat her father, right? That would be sick. Sick in a bad way. Sick in a sicko way. It seems a grim thing to contemplate after having eaten, but didn't your hostess mention something about the plague? Yes, your hostess says, her voice soft now and serious, that's right. There was a plague. And one of the villagers, one of her father. Bro, just put 2 and 2 together. The plague killed them all. This MC is just blatantly stupid sometimes. I don't know. They're all gone now. Gone? Yes. You see, your hostess rearranged herself upon her chair, one slender leg folded over the other. Then she begins her tale in earnest. Okay, story time. My family has a history. We've lived here for centuries by the church, so we can tend to the graveyard. So just shut up and listen to her. It would certainly explain dirt. Okay. My father used to prepare bodies for burial back when he was alive. He built the coffins and he dug the graves, and he lowered the coffins into the dirt. I know it might sound like an awful job, but somebody's got to do it. There's no sense averting our eyes from death, not when it happens to the best of us. It's a noble procession, one that's been handed down in our family for generations. My father's father was a gravedigger, and so was my father. So was my father's father, and my father's father. Okay, that's not fun to read. Digging graves is in our blood. It's in our bloodline. It's who we are. My, that was a surprisingly pretty speech coming from a girl who lives in the countryside, a girl who is without much in the way of education. It is apparent just to listen to her and the way she slurs her syllables together. She has never had any elocution lessons, not like you. There is a determination, however, to hear her and a pride in her genealogy, which gives her a respectable aura. Okay, the aura is so insane, it's respectable. You cannot help but to be impressed. So you ask your hostess, does that make her one in a long line of grave diggers? That sounds bad, like one bad roll off the tongue, and you might say something bad there. Yes, your hostess, the gravedigger, says. That's about right. Though I was never supposed to be a gravedigger myself. It is not a woman's profession, that's what everybody says. My father didn't mind that, though. He taught me everything he knew, and then some. I might be a woman, but I've plenty of upper body strength. I can dig a grave just as well as my father could. But a break in a sweat. Oh, I believe you. You could kill me right now. You could kill me right now with that freaking shovel. I believe you. And I'm scared. Do not kill me. That was a painstakingly awful joke. Do not do it, or else I'm gonna actually cry. Cry. To the despair of my mother up in heaven, I'm sure if she were still alive, she'd rather I focus on more feminine pursuits like basket weaving or sewing to better attract a suitor. Not that it would do much good now. There's nobody around that court me, not for miles and miles. That's why I'm here. And what happened to her mother? She died when I was very young. During childbirth, I was only 5 years old. Oh, well. You can relate to her at least, upon this point. Your parents are not dead, at least. Not as far as you were aware, but you have not seen them in an awfully long time. Sent you away as soon as you were old enough, and they never once bothered to check up on you. Damn, that's fucked up. For many years, there have been no letters nor any visits. They don't care. You offered the gravedigger your condolence. You do not know if they will help, but you feel like you cannot say nothing. That would be heartless. The gravedigger, however, does not seem too upset by this turn of events because she smiles, albeit somberly. It's alright. It was ages ago. I don't remember her too well, and I've never really had the luxury of sitting around feeling sorry for myself. I had too much work to do. Around the house, you ask. That too, I was the oldest child, so it was my job after my mother died to manage the sweeping and the cooking. Oh, and looking after all my siblings too. You blink intrigued and glance about your hostess' humble lodgings. You don't see any siblings in the immediate vicinity. Oh my gosh, it's because they're dead, probably. The gravedigger must have noticed your roving eyes. You're not being exactly subtle, because she shakes her head. How did we look around the vicinity? Did we look around like this? Like, oh my gosh. Like, oh, wow, where? Okay. I wish I can turn my head like a actual Vtuber, but I can't, so that's the best I can do. Just going in 2D dimensions. Yes. Yeah. The struggles of being a PNG is expected, but yeah, that's rough, buddy. Anyway, let's continue. I had siblings, 2 younger brothers. They're both gone now. Oh, shoot. You should have known. Yes, you should, you stupid stinky MC. You apologize to the gravedigger for your lack of tact, but she does not seem upset by this fox bass. Don't apologize. Not your fault. My brothers weren't long for this world anyway. The youngest, he died when he was still a babe, and the oldest, he died before he reached double digits. So 9 and a baby. 9 years old and a baby died. That's messed up. I was upset about it at the time, of course, but I've come to terms with it now. Life's a fleeting thing in this wicked old world. That's something you learn in this trade, digging graves. I mean, I've dug graves for the elderly and the infirm, but have also dug graves for young babes still in their swaddling clothes. It's kind of sad. The freak? Oh my gosh. The lore drop is insane. That's the nature of death. It comes for all of us in the end. No matter how old we are, no matter how much money we have, no matter how good or bad we've been. It's the great equalizer. Or so I've heard. A chill creeps down your spine as you listen to your hostess' speech. She is not wrong, but the inherent morality of all humankind is not something you wish to contemplate. It is too disturbing. For the longest times, my family was a small one. It was just my father and me, but that was fine. It was how I like it. I was very happy, even if our lives weren't the best. I've never had any fancy clothes to wear, and we can't dine on the finest of foods. In the grand scheme of things, we ain't anything that special, but I've always felt otherwise. I thought that I was blessed, she said with a smile. We knew hardship, of course, and famine, but that's just the way life is around here. When food supplies were low, we always helped one another out. I had my father, but I also had the rest of the village. We all looked after one another, and things always work out in the end. Okay, the power of friendship, I like it. At least they did. Until the plague happened. Yes, she had mentioned the plague. How many times are we gonna self-monologue about the plague? We know there's a plague. The moderator when she was going through it. You suppose that the plague is the reason that the villages you traversed it was very empty. It's both right. The plague tore through the village. I don't remember when. It feels like it was a while ago, but maybe it wasn't all that long after all. It feels like I've been on my own for centuries, but your hostess' eyes begin to cloud over. She looks as though she is entrenched within her own memories. Someone pulling the strings, because they seem like a good person at first, but I know there's gonna be like a twist that, oh, I'm actually gonna kill your ass at the end. What could she be remembering? You have never seen the plague before, though you have heard of them in your history lessons. What kind of history lessons are we talking about here? That they suck then. Your history professor was quite enthusiastic about the subject. She talked about piles of dead bodies stacked up in the streets and stacked up in the wooden carts. Come to take them away with no shortage of aplomb. She was a strange woman, your history professor. The plague came on very suddenly. There was no warning. One day everyone was fine, and the next they were all dead. It is with no small amount of anxiety that you eyed the grave digger. Then you asked really surely they could not have all died. Is that not an exaggeration? Oh, if only. I wish I was exaggerating, but it's the truth. Honest to God. The people in the village died one after another, just like that. So what the plague does to people firsthand. My father was one of the first people who caught it. I think one of the bodies which came true that we buried must have had it. Not that I know for certain, I'm just guessing. Still, my father didn't have an easy time of it. His skin turned all gray and clammy, and he complained of a horrible fever. There were night sweats and stomach cramps. God damn! The frick! And then there were the boils. The boils? Fistulas, they were the size of eggs, and they were full of pus. When they burst, it stank. The whole house was full of it. It stank to death. The wise woman of the village came to see if she could be of any use, but it was no good. My father was too far gone already. Ew. I am imagining the thing that happened. It's fucking nasty, dog. She took one look at him lying on his deathbed, and she shook her head. She said she didn't want to get any closer. I can say I blame her. It was a ghastly sight. I didn't appreciate it at the time, though. It felt like she was turning her back on us. I wish her ill. I remember that after she left, until a few days passed and she fell sick too. Then I felt bad for cursing her. I couldn't help but worry if it was all my fault. It's silly, I know, but... The gravedigger closed her eyes. She seems to squeeze her lids together until her lashes melt like flakes of a fallen snow. Her shoulders, which are very slender, are shaking. shaking is insane. She looks as though she might at any moment fall apart. Maybe we can change topic now because this might be an uncomfy topic, no? It wasn't all long after that the rest of the village fell ill. They all had the same symptoms as my father, the clammy skin and the fever and the boils. The boils grew, then they burst. Then they died in screaming, stinking agony. What a terrible way to go, bro. Just, in pain, stinky. That sucks. GG. Condolence. My father died too, only 3 days after he fell ill, but I think even that was 3 days too many. I didn't want my father to die, of course. I did everything I could do to help him, but it was all pointless. None of my herbal salves had any impact. I couldn't make a blind bit of difference. All I did was stand about his bedside telling him it'd be alright until his eyes sank into his skull like 2 black stones. His mouth dried out. During the last day before he died, he might have been a corpse already. He didn't look at me, he didn't speak to me, he just lay in bed with his eyes closed, groaning. I never wished any ill on my father before, but during those moments, The gravedigger squeezes her hands, which were resting upon her black-clad lap, into fist. She trembles. We should stop this topic. Oh my gosh, she is suffering right now. Then, in a voice throbbing with an awful emotion, she says, I wish he just died. Well, based on her anecdote, it does not sound like she had overly long to wait. I wonder if she... Why is the MC so sarcastic, man? I wonder if she would consider that a silver lining. No, perhaps not. The gravedigger is still shaking. She will not cry, will she? You hope not. Awkwardly, you look at the gravedigger. You're not sure how to soothe her, but you know how you must make some sort of an effort, even if it is a token one. You shift upon your chair, which feels very cold and hard beneath your thighs. Then you say very softly that you are sorry. It's not much, but it is all you can think of saying. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, I guess. You thought initially that your situation was comparable to that of the gravedigger, but now you see that this is not the case. Her suffering has far outstripped your own. Not that suffering is a competition, of course. Your apology feels inadequate to your ears, largely because it is, but the gravedigger seems to not mind. She is very big-hearted, that girl, to smile at you no matter how foolish you might be. Do you really deserve such kindness? Don't worry, this kindness won't last. Again, with apologies. It's alright, like I said. You didn't cause any of this. I'm not upset at that, I'm just recounting what happened, is all. I do wonder though why I never felt sick myself. Maybe she's immune. The cure. Thought I was going to die. So I'd already prepared for the Reaper to come and take me away. But maybe he wasn't interested. Maybe he'd already satiated his appetite on all the others. That, or maybe he thought he'd have to leave me alive for practicality's sakes. With my father gone, most would tend to the dead. I was the only person left by the end of it all, so I had to bury the people in the village. They're all resting peacefully now under the earth, where the plague can't reach them. So where's this plague? Am I safe from this, or am I cooked? On the other hand, I'm happy for them. They were able to escape from all their suffering. When I think about all the people I've lost, so the gravedigger tenses. Then she sniffs, sniff. I think about the kindly washerwoman who helped me scrub the mud and the dirt from my clothes. So this village will have its fair share of washerwomen. I was right. And the handsome young farm hands who used to flirt with me. The priests who preached at the church who told us wonderful tales of a paradise. The children who would skip stones on the lake and play hopscotch in the streets. Can't help but feel so lonely. Another title reference, perhaps? gets so lonely in here, oh my gosh. Not the title again. The title drop is very much needed in this game. Yes, The gravedigger's eyes begin to shine once she has finished her address with tears, but she does not let them fall. She is being very brave, much more so than you are. Anxiously, you extend a hand towards her, meaning to, what? Give her a hug? You do not know her well enough. I think you should just go for it, man. Just go for it. Pat her head. That would be infantilizing. Squeeze her hand. Perhaps that could be misconstrued as a romantic overture, and that is the very last thing you want. You endured more than your fair share of teasing over that. You sit there for a few moments, paralyzed by indecision as the gravedigger poorly suppresses her sniffles. In the end, you let your arm drop back to your side. Your hand rests upon your lap. As useful as damp kind kindling, you do not know what to do with it. You do know that you ought to say something, though, to show that you heard her plight and that you care. You do not know what this something should be, however. No words could ever console the gravedigger. They would never be enough. They can offer some balm, however, to the bereaved, and so, after a pause just long enough to be awkward, you offer your condolences. What else can you say? Oh no, the gravedigger replies, wiping a few stray tears away with the back of her arm. Back of her arm, just like what I did earlier. I've grown used to it, really, being on my own. I mean, it ain't so bad. I'm not alone now, at least. I met you. You'll keep me company, won't you? Well, what can you say to that? You aren't callous enough to trample this poor girl's hopes, are you? You know full well yourself how awful that feels. You can do nothing but nod, a response which makes the girl smile. There you go. Wait. Yes. More widely still. That's wonderful. I know you're just a traveler who's passing through, but I can offer you bread and boards until you leave. I have food enough to enter a spare bedroom. I can make it up for you right now. Here we go again with the bedroom, and then we're gonna dream about our days on the academy or some crap. Must be tired after your long journey. Just give me a moment. Oh my gosh, okay. The yappa yappa is slowly getting to me. The gravedigger rises to her feet in a flurry of excitement, then retreats. You watch as she departs a little, too eager to please and frown. The girl's home is a small, humble one with a low ceiling and slanted walls. You cannot imagine such a small dwelling possessing a spare bedroom. That would be crazy. The so-called spare bedroom is likely the room where her father slept in before the plague carried him off. You do not think that you would much like to spend the night in the room of a dead man, but what choice do you have? You are tired, virtually so. Why is it all you can do to keep your eyes open? While you were running to the forest, desperate to escape your pursuer, what happened to this? We do not know. Can we have a conclusion to this? You had no thought in mind beyond finding some safe sanctuary in which you could recuperate. Big words from my small brain. Wow. Now that you have found said sanctuary, it would be unreasonable to find faults with it. You ought to learn to be more thankful for what you have. There are many, many people in the world with less. That's not too bad. That's a good bedroom, not gonna lie. You rise and follow the gravedigger once she has finished her preparations to her so-called spare bedroom, which is very bit as cramped as you feared it would be. At least there is a bed, which comes as something of a relief. The rest of these lodgings are so humble you were half expecting a straw pallet. As tired as you might be, you cannot lie to yourself. You have no desire to sleep among the hay like an animal. The sheets of the bed are clean too, a fact that you discern with a cursory glance, so you will not be expected to sleep upon the sweat-soaked linen of a plague-ridden man after all. This really is your lucky day. I wouldn't say lucky. I wouldn't say it because you were getting chased earlier, bro. I got you this too, the gravedigger says, somewhat shyly, as she hands you a folded gown to sleep in. I thought, oh, my bad. It's her voice. thought it might come in handy. Your own clothes are a little shabby. She can say that again. Her skirt is covered in mud and the hem is torn and ragged. This nightgown is one of my old ones, so it's suffered a bit of wear and tear, but I hope it will fit alright. It's a clean, if nothing else. You accept the nightgown from your benefactress with words of thanks. You want to sound appropriately appreciative, but you cannot mask your fatigue. Weariness overcomes you and you yawn, a fact that the grave digger does not fail to notice. Oh, begging your pardon. I don't want to keep you. I'll be making myself scarce. Scarcy. Scarke. Scarke. If you need anything, though, don't hesitate to ask. I'd be happy to help. The gravedigger bows her head. What a noble woman. Head to you like a drudge, then hurries off, closing the door behind her with a thud. Ta-dang! Tired though, you soon find that you rather miss your hostess' company. I mean, we can sleep together. Okay, no, never mind. In the face of her good-natured smiles, you could almost forget all of the hardships you have hit her to endured. In her absence, however, your lodging feels almost unbearably cold and inhospitable. You used to press a shutter, then unclothe yourself. You work as quickly as you're able, but your fingers are cold and they fumble with the buttons of your blouse. It takes you more than time that you would like to complete this endeavor, but soon have your shirt and your skirt dispensed with. You're too tired to fold them neatly, so you do not bother to fold them at all. Understandable. Instead, you cast them carelessly upon the floor as defiant as a sulky child and pull on your new nightgown. Yosta's earlier warnings were apatu? Apatu. Patu. Okay. It's quite worn, but it fits well enough. It is more comfortable at least than your old uniform. Again, with the uniform reference. You have endured worse. Newly dressed and ready for bed, you loosen your hair from your braids and settle down upon the sheets. It is with a sigh you extinguish the weakly flickering candlelight which burns on your bedside, and with another sigh that you lay your head down upon your pillow. Though physically exhausted, you have to wonder whether you will be able to sleep at all. I'm sure we will. It's fine. Let me save this before, Ooh, what is this? Wait. You can recall your previous dash through the forest in such a vivid detail your heart's still pounding. Are we gonna get a backstory about what happened to the forest now? I want to save. Can I save here? Yes. Okay. Okay, is this lore drop? That fear has yet to leave you. Perhaps it will never leave you. Your terror was such as it almost feels like so it has suffused itself into your bones, into your very being. But your exhaustion is greater than your worldly anxieties, and soon it claims you. Oh gosh! Your eyelids fall shut, and your breathing inevitably begins to even out. It's not long until you are spiraling into a dark, deep abyss lost in Morpheus' kingdom. Morpheus' kingdom? But your sleep, despite your worried state, is not as restorative as you had hoped. Your imagination has always been overactive, even at the conservatoire. You were frequently beset by dreams of the most vivid nature. Dreams that you have this night lying beneath unfamiliar sheets upon an unfamiliar bed are no less intense than usual. In your dreams, you are back at the conservatoire. Again with the conservatoire. The place where this adventure of yours began. You are wearing the crisp white blouse you once discarded in your grey, unremarkable skirt. Your hair is tied with braids and your eyes are downturned forever, focused upon your feet. As much as I like this game, I just wish there were more like art pieces shown, especially things in the conservatoire, because there's a lot of scenes like that, and my imagination does not work very well. That's why I need to see some art. But still, regardless, it is a well-crafted story. It's fun. It's fun. It's fun to think about. It's fun to imagine, but I wish there's more art. You try not to look at your classmates, and you thought to yourself, fortunate that if they do not look at you in return, you do not want anybody to notice you. Until that awful winter that is where everybody stopped paying attention to you for good. Nobody tried to trip you when you walked past them in the hallways. Isn't that good? Like, like nobody's paying you attention no more. Like, you're free. Screw them, right? I feel like that's a win. Nobody, in fact, so much as glanced at you. All of a sudden, there were no malicious whispers, no wicked laughter, no pulled hair, and no thrown objects. You were giddy with relief at first over this newfound means of tormenting you that your classmates had devised. Bro, I don't care if they do that to me, bro. But this little game that of a complete and utter disregard continued and on and on and on as the days grew shorter and nights grew longer. As time passed, you began to fret as to the state of your own corporeality. Could anybody still see you? Yeah. Did you even exist at all? Yeah. But at least, at long last, you found it until quite by accident, the source of all your woes. One of the girls had erected in the forest through which you were sometimes admitted to jog for PE class, put in the shade cast by an old oak tree. What? It was a makeshift tombstone, a small merged monument made of stone upon which one of your classmates had hung a name. Your name! Oh my god, that crap made me burp for some reason. You knew at once as you stood there standing beneath the shade of the ancient tree that this was the reason behind your classmates' silence. So they made a fake tombstone. They acted like I'm dead because of that fake tombstone, even though I'm right there beside them. Honestly, those classmates are weirdos for that. But A for effort, I guess. That's some next level bullying. The freak. You knew. Oh yeah. This was why they had for many months been ignoring you so assiduously. They had buried you in their hearts. You had already died. Oh, that's it. Okay. Your eerie dreams notwithstanding, you sleep more comfortably than you had anticipated. When you awake the following morning, the sweet chirping of bird song, you feel well rested, a bit woozy, your head is aching. There's nothing, however, that a cup of hot tea cannot fix. See, it's not too bad. This house is. You stumble into the kitchen in your night clothes, your hair loose, and your feet bare, and the gravedigger turns to you. She looks at your face, which is pasty, and your under eyes, which are dark, and exclaims in the manner of one accustomed to solving problems, not complaining about them. Oh, you look awful. I think you'd need something warm to drink, and maybe you need something to eat too. Let me get started on breakfast. And that is exactly what she does. What a great woman. What a great friend. W friend. Thank you, friend. I don't know your name, friend. She gets started on the breakfast, which, yeah, we don't know the names of the people we encounter, which is weird. It's just weird. The bread is hard enough to break your teeth on, and the cheese is a bit too strong. It is the food all the same, though you do not complain. Your stomach is beginning to grumble. The tea is inoffensive at least, and you drink it gratefully. You thank the gravedigger girl for her hospitality. See, we don't know her name, bro. She smiles at you in return, a sunny smile like a field of blooming bellflowers. It's no problem. Don't hesitate to ask me if you need anything else, she says, words which come to symbolize your relationship. You stay with the gravedigger for many, many more days, and limited to her means might be, she always tries to help you. The gravedigger sets you chores about the house to keep you occupied, a fact for which you are grateful. You need to do something to keep your mind off your frantic flight through the forest. You can almost forget about it now during the day. Are we not gonna get like a lore what happened to us with that forest? No? During the night, however, it returns to you the sound of your feet against the foliage and the swirling fog. When you sleep, you are assailed by nightmares. Sometimes you awake after midnight, the sheets twisted around your body and your mouth gaping open in the paroxysm of terror. So as you try to tell yourself, otherwise you are still afraid. Being with the gravedigger makes you feel Less so, particularly when you're sweeping the floor or keeping an eye on the bread loaves so they do not burn. You attend to most of the domestic chores, while the gravedigger concerns herself with the work she knows best. That is, ding ding ding, grave digging. Her dogged persistence when it comes to this pursuit intrigues you so much that you cannot help but posit a question to her on one particular morning when the sky is festooned with clouds. Yes, why? You ask her, perhaps a touch insensitively. Do you continue to dig graves? There's nobody left after all to dig them. Maybe it's just a hobby at this point, you know? Maybe she just wants to keep herself entertained. Maybe. Maybe. Yes. It's so quiet. What's the point? The gravedigger ponders while holding her precious shovels to her chest. Okay, she looks sad. Okay. She looks sad. Did we freak up with that question? Is this the reason why she's gonna kill us later? Fortunately, she does not seem upset by your question despite its bluntness. You should count yourself lucky. Her temperament is also very placid. Okay, she's not gonna kill me. Yet. I don't suppose there is any point to it, really. The gravedigger eventually says with a small smile. I know it doesn't have any particular purpose, but... well... digging graves is what my father did. He showed me how to do it, so I could continue his legacy. My father wanted to keep our family tradition going, and I suppose I wanted to do the same. That's all there is to it, really. That's all? Huh. You think you can understand that, though your companion's actions might appear to be illogical there as a kernel of reason nestled amongst them. She does not dig graves out of any sense of purpose. She does it instead out of sentiment. She just loves to dig graves. That's it. Besides, I have something to keep myself busy, don't I? If I spent my days idling around on my own, I think I'd go mad. The gravedigger laughs at this, as though the prospect of her own madness is amusing. Her laugh, despite her slender stature, is not particularly delicate. It reminds you, perhaps unkindly, of the braying of a horse, so you're comparing her laugh to a horse. You're comparing this kind woman's laugh to a horse, MC. That is crazy. I'm gonna stand here because you're crazy to say that. Like, yo, do you realize what you just said? Crazy. And let me just back off a little. Okay. Continue. You're ashamed of thinking such a thing, and your face flushes with the guilt of it. You better. What the freak? You just compared her to a horse. Can all be well-bred young ladies, you know? What the freak does that mean? Still, the laughter of the gravedigger as it echoes through the grey, gloomy sky is strangely desperate. It sounds forced. Okay. You know, this is where you pack your things and just get the hell out of here, because she might go cuckoo and she might bury me next alive there, you know? She already has a grave. What else could she do about that, you know? Oh no, I'm certainly next. Her smile too is a touch unnatural, the rictus grin of a corpse. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, buddy, you're cooked. Yeah. You find despite your attempts to return her laughter with a polite giggle that you cannot help but pity her. Oh god. What's with a sudden transition? That's scary. You retreat indoors briefly after you talk with the gravedigger, then set about some simple chores. The gravedigger trusts you well enough to manage sweeping the floor, a task which does not take particularly long, and preparing of meals, okay? Oh no, it's nighttime. We're dead, bro. We are dead. It's not much until later, however, once the sun has already sunk beneath the horizon and the moon is high in the sky that the gravedigger returns from the outdoors. She is windswept after many hours spent exposed to the elements, and there is dirt caked beneath her fingernails. The gravedigger removes her cloak when she hangs by the door, then looks to the pot suspended over the fire which you stoke with your own fair hands. The scent of cooking food, that of garlic and onions, fills the air, suffusing the interior of the kitchen in a homey aroma which makes your stomach rumble. Taking stock of this, the gravedigger smiles at you, the toothy smile which, despite her status as a lowly peasant, is surprisingly clean and bright and white. What the freak is that transition? That scared me. She just went down like this, like... I thought her face morphed or something. The freak? Okay, that's actually scary. I thought her face morphed there for a second, like a spider, and she just dropped down. That's creepy. That actually scared me. I have this sword, and I'm not afraid to use it, bro. I swear. Don't scare me like that again, game. That nasty transition. Thank you so much, dear one. There's nothing like... She called me dear one just like the princess. I'm dead. There's nothing like returning home after a hard day's work to find dinner already prepared. Now, let me give it a test. Will she kill me if the food is terrible? I'm scared. The gravedigger dips a spoon into the soup, then brings it to her lips. She blows upon it. Then she places the spoon into her mouth, the wooden utensil clacking against her teeth. You observe this with a touch of anxiety. Will she like the food which you have prepared for her? You have cooked for her before in the past, and she always very complimentary of your efforts. Cooking is not your forte, however. You never had to concern yourself with it, really growing up in a relative comfort as you did. You think that you enjoy this rural, rustic mode of existence more than you did any of the privileges of your past life. At least now, with the gravedigger, you have a steadfast friend, a staunch ally. When you are with her, you are not alone, but that is worth its weight in gold. The gravedigger exclaims after drawing the spoon from her lips, her smile a bright, guileless one. It's delicious. Your face flushes at this compliment. You're unaccustomed to receiving them, and it makes you feel good. Shyly, you ask the gravedigger if she truly means that, a query which makes the gravedigger smile. Of course, I mean it. You become quite good at cooking, really. That is a relief. You were not very good at all. In the beginning, you did not know how to handle a knife, nor peel a vegetable, and you cut yourself more than once. You bled into the soup and several... That's freaking nasty. I don't want to read that. The gravedigger lives a humble existence. You cannot afford to waste your precious ingredients. Your soups during your stay have all been seasoned with the slightest hint of iron. Today's soup, however, is a marked step above all the rest. You did not cut yourself with a knife, even once. I can be a chef now. Thank you. Maybe your companion's compliments are not empty fluff. Maybe you really are improving. This soup should be ready to serve. I have some bread too that we can eat it with. But oh, I should brew some tea too. Let me... Ah, yes, the tea. You knew that you were forgetting something. You were so focused on the soup that it must have slipped your mind. Your face flushes yet again at this oversight, and shyly you offer you to correct it. The gravedigger, however, waves your request aside. No, it's alright. You made the dinner, so I'll brew the tea. It's only fair, and it won't take long. That I read that wrong. My apologies. Would you mind serving up the soup while I'm busy? Of course you would not mind. You do enjoy making yourself useful. For a lady, you're awfully domestic, because I'm a simp. A true-born simp. You work alongside the gravedigger to finish your nightly meal, and together you serve it soup and bread alongside 2 cups of piping hot tea prepared by your hostess' own 2 hands. You sit together at the table and then partake in the simple fare after saying grace. Soup really is quite good, despite it being made from only the most commonplace of ingredients. There's a bit of a kick to it, and it warms you from the inside out. The tea, meanwhile, is very soothing, so much so it makes you feel rather sleepy. What did you put into the drink? Why am I sleepy? Tea should not make me sleepy. What did you put? You would like to sit with the gravedigger for a little while longer. You tell stories as you have sometimes in the past, that or play cards. The nights are long. There's no better way to pass them than spending time with her. Games of Old Maid, alas, will have to wait. You are too tired for this. You do not know what happened, but after consuming your victuals, you feel utterly fatigued. Yeah, she put something in that goddamn tea, and we're... oh no. She put something in that tea, didn't she? I'm just staring at the screen in disbelief, because I know she put something on that goddamn tea, and I don't wish to click next because I know what's gonna happen next. I'm gonna wake up in some dark place. It's not a spoiler, it's just what happened on the princess route. I just feel it. I'm gonna wake up in a dark place and I'm gonna get cooked. Yeah. Oh well, let's just go. If she put something on that goddamn tea, I know. You explain your predicament to the gravedigger between your yawns, and she nods in response. That's alright, you don't need to stay up with me. Not if you ain't up to it. You should head off to bed and rest that pretty head of yours. You do not think you are particularly pretty, but you presume that the gravedigger is just... That's a big word. I'm not reading that. She does not truly mean it. How could she? She is far prettier than you are. Oh god. Oh god, this is kind of scary. You thank the gravedigger for understanding, then rise from the table. Yeah, when we wake up, we are gonna get killed. Please no jump scares, I'm actually scared. You retreat to the spare bedroom, trembling legs, and change out of your clothes. You've only just slid to your nightgown when you hear the knocking of knuckles upon your door light and observe that this wrapping could of course belong to one person. It is a gravedigger come to check up on you. I'm sorry, the gravedigger says with her voice soft, but you rushed to your room so soon after eating, I couldn't help but worry about you. Would you mind if I take a look at you? I just want to see if you're alright. The gravedigger is trying to keep her voice steady, but you can hear her wavering regardless. She really does sound concerned so much she could very well be on the brink of tears. You do not want her to cry for you. Can't read. Wow, I can't read. What's reading? What's English at this point? Let me adjust my thingy. Okay. You would feel horribly guilty if you upset her, even inadvertently, given all that she has done for you. You bid the gravedigger entry into your room, therefore without further delay an invitation she has to take. I'm scared, what the freak? I know this is not a horror game, but it feels like it. The door swings inwards with a creak, and there's your hostess stands still attired in black. Okay, I dropped something, I just pick it up. There your hostess stands. Oh, I just read this. The gravedigger looks at you, sitting in bed with your hair freed from your unusual braids, and exhales. Is that a relief, you wonder, playing about her face? But why? What was she expecting to see exactly before entering your bedchamber? Thank you for letting me in, the gravedigger says, toying with her fingers. How do you feel? Maybe she's actually worried about me? I don't know. Not too terrible, you reassure her. There are no particular problems with your health. You just feel tired. You sure you're not sick? Your face does look a little bit pale. That would be nothing out of the norm. You're always pale. True. Now, is there anything I can do for you? Would you like something warm to drink, or maybe a hot brick to place in your bed? It should keep you warm. You appreciate your hostess' thoughtfulness, but you assure her that this won't be necessary. You will be fine. I hope so. I thought that about my father too, before he... Oh, maybe she's actually worried about me? Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know no more. These girls are... I don't know. I don't know the right word. Or confusing, I guess. They're all very confusing. Okay. She does not finish though. She does not need to. You know now what she was thinking of before she entered your bedroom. Cold, clammy skin, a sweating brow rank, oozing pustules. I don't know how to read that. You think upon these symptoms, which is eerily similar to those recounted during the Great Plague, which once beset your own country, and you shudder. If you don't want anything, then I'll be on the way, the gravedigger says. But before that, is she gonna give like a goodnight kiss or something? It would be crazy. This was just a fancy on my part, but I was wondering, would you mind if I brush your hair for a little while? Ahem. Yes, of course you can. Hell yeah, exclaims. It's not like that I would love to or like to, blushes slightly. Okay. That's right, it's such a pretty shade of red. Oh, we have red hair. Oh yeah, we do, I forgot. And I just thought, that's right. It's just fancy, really. You don't have to let me, not if you don't want to, but I thought it might help you relax if you're feeling under the weather. I've heard it's supposed to be soothing. That is what the gravedigger says, but you have the distinct feeling that she is the one looking for solace here. She is not quite so selfless, perhaps, as she would like you to think, but she has been very good to you, and she has done so much for you, and you do not want to begrudge her this small self-indulgence. You either think she deserves it. You agree, therefore, to her request, and upon doing so, you are certain you have made the right choice. Your hostess' face lights up immediately. It's a matter which makes you blush. Oh, thank you. That'd be my honor. Now, let me fetch my brush. That creaking door always scares me. I don't know why. The gravedigger retreats from your room in a hurry, but returns soon thereafter, holding in her right hand the promised brush. The artifact acquired, the gravedigger then settles herself upon your bed by your side. She looks at your hair for a few moments, her expressions pensive. Then she announces that she will begin. Announcing is insane. The gravedigger leans in. The wooden frame of the bed creaks under her weight, a creak which melds with the sighing of the breeze outdoors. You can feel the bristles of the brush running through your hair. It is soothing enough, so much so it makes you shiver. The sensation is a pleasant one and somewhat nostalgic. Did your mother do this for you? You wonder, when you were a little girl. If she did, it must have been when you were a very little girl. You have not seen your mother in quite some time, not after you enrolled at the conservatoire. Oh, you have such lovely hair, dear one. She's calling me dear one just like the princess. I'm so cooked, man. I'm so cooked. I'm gonna get killed later. I'm gonna get squashed later. This is it, boys. I'm gone. I am so dead. GG. Okay. Soft like silk. Not all like mine. Mine is so coarse. This gentle voice draws you out of your vague half-formed reminiscences. It sounds as though the gravedigger is lost in nostalgia of her own, because her voice, when the next she speaks, is dreamy. I think my mother used to brush my hair like this for me, back when she was still alive. That must have been a long time ago. It is funny, you think, as the bristles of the brush continue to slide through your traces, that you and the gravedigger should both be reminiscing in tandem about your respective mamas. Perhaps there is something maternal in the act of brushing one's hair, which just won't be too summoning forth such images. Maybe. I would not know, personally. I can't remember my own mom, after all. I don't think I'd like having my hair brushed very much. The gravedigger continues. Maybe I could try it. Maybe you'd like it. I don't know. Her breath warms against the exposed nape of your neck. My mother used to complain that I squirm too much. I can still remember that. She always told me to sit still, though it wasn't my fault that I squirmed. She used too much force. Now, this is curious. It sounds as though the reminiscences of the gravedigger are not particularly fun after all. It sounds like abuse. It sounds like abuse, bro. What the frick? What the frick? What the frick? Is she trying to make her daughter bald? Did she not get along with her mother? I can't rightfully say, the gravedigger replies. I was young, like I said, and when she died, I really don't remember her too well. But I don't think she ever had that much time for me. She was too busy with all the cooking and the cleaning. Oh, and looking after my babe brothers. She had time enough, despite that, to brush your hair. She did what she felt she had to make me look presentable. Not that it really worked. I wasn't like the other girls in the village who liked to sit indoors with their mothers and sew. I always loved the outdoors. My father said I inherited that from him. Ruefully, the gravedigger smiled. Not that you can see it with your back facing her. Then how did you see it? Huh? How did you see it, Miss Main Character? My mother said I wasn't very, well, maidenly. She didn't like that I was trips around outside after my father watching as he dug graves. She said it wasn't appropriate, like I was some sort of a princess wearing a fine dress. The gravedigger snorts. It used to get a bit muddy, yes. Maybe I did get burrs in my clothes and knots in my hair, but it shouldn't matter. Not like I ever had any hopes of marrying the prince, no matter what my mother said. But still, she had lots of hopes. My mother, high hopes. I think she might have resented my father maybe for working such a menial job. Our profession is an honest one, but it's never made much money. Then why marry him if you don't want the job, the freak? I think my mother was hoping for fine jewels and dresses, and I don't know, she always had ideas. Her head was full of fairy tales. It was a shame, I suppose, that her reality didn't match up to what she wanted. Didn't match up to what she wanted. Damn. This game cuts deep with the backstory and lore, and the writing is pretty lit. Pretty lit, you know? Pretty lit. What would you say to her? You never met your companion, mother. You never will either. Her cold, inert body has been lying in the graveyard buried beneath a tombstone for over a decade. You have no way of ascertaining whether your companion's mother truly cared for her. You do have the intelligence enough, however, to understand that poorly thought out condolences can cause more harm than good. That's true. Would not like if people tried to reassure you that, of course, your father loved you, really. If he loved you, then why did he send you away from home? Why did he never send you any letters? You know, he was worried about his finances, but that seems a poor excuse to pretend that his only daughter did not exist. As for your own mother, meanwhile, she was nice. At least you think she was, but she was woefully ineffectual. Though she was nominally an adult, she was always clear before your father's judgment. You think that she was afraid of him. You do not try to tell the gravedigger therefore that her mother loved her, that she must have done else she would not have given birth to her. Instead, you sit there, letting the brush run through your hair, and you say quietly that you understand. Honestly, that's the best response you can give in that situation. That's good. Sometimes you feel like a disappointment yourself. The gravedigger says, well, after a pause, I'm glad I'm not the only one. I guess it happens to all of us. You guess so. The parents are only people after all, while one would hope one's parents would be kind and attentive. They, too, can fall victim to characteristics of their own. Just because one has brought the child to this world, it does not mean one will be able to take care of it properly. Bars. Not all parents are responsible, just as not all people are responsible. It is a painful subject. Oh, well, it's alright if my mother never liked me, or if she never loved me. I know my father did, and that's all that matters. He was always there for me no matter what. Your companion's voice catches in her throat. She winces. At least until he wasn't. He died, and I didn't do a thing to help him. I'm sure you did. You just can't, cure him because you're not a doctor or something like that. That's fine. This is a sad route. It's probably the saddest route compared to the others. Like because just like a backstory here that she's actually telling in the princess route, she just said, "Oh, they're gone. I don't know what happened," and as well as the mermaid route. Oh, they're gone. I don't know what happened, but here, she knows what happened. So this is actually the saddest route in this game. Pretty cool. Your companion's shoulders are beginning to shake. You still cannot see her, but you can feel her body convulsing. You can sense her loneliness crawling up in her waves. It is all consuming, like the waters of a deep, dark ocean. Grief anew pierces your heart, not on your behalf, but for the sake of your benefactress. She does not deserve to suffer so much. This. You have no qualms with it, telling her. You turn to face her and pluck the brush, which has been hovering in the air, inert from her fingers. Then you let her know that her father's death was not her fault. What could she have done? She could not cure this illness. I know, but I can't help but think, what if I keep racking my head over and over trying to come up with something, but I can't think of anything, and even if I could, it's too late. He's gone, buried. I buried him, and now I'm alone. You might have been alone, you tell the gravedigger, but she isn't now. Not anymore. We turned this situation into a Riz move. I'm proud, MC. I'm proud. I'd be surprised if we actually can romance her and not die in this route. That would be pretty cool, I think. If we can. But if we can't, but if we still die, that would suck. That would absolutely suck. But I hope this route is different from the other ones. Just wishful thinking, Just wishful thinking. Wishful thinking. How can she be when you are there? I know that. I know. And I'm grateful, but I don't know if I deserve it. Why would she not deserve your company? You do not understand. Because I couldn't do nothing for nobody. My father always looked out for me when I was a little girl, but when he needed me the most, I failed him. I failed everyone. All of the villagers, all my friends, they all died. But I do if the same thing happened to you. I don't think I could bear it. Nothing will happen to me because I am the danger. I'm the one who knocks. Let's save this emotionally moment. Hell yeah. I don't want you getting sick too, not when I care about you so much. Oh my gosh. If I have a blushing face, I would put that on right now, but I did not have that prepared on me in my model right now, so that's all I can do. That's me blushing this way. This way. Yeah. I'm blushing like that. Like a blushing blur. I thought I've gotten used to being on my own, but now that you're here, it's making me worry. All over again. I've been worrying so much I can't sleep from it. Now kiss. No, I'm sorry. The companion's voice catches in her throat. Then she collapses in on herself. She leans forwards, her arms wound about her middle as if to steady herself, and she cries. For a few moments, you look at the gravedigger, unsure of what to do. Her pale face, streaked with silvery tears, seemed to flicker in the candlelight. Her shoulders, which seemed too slender to bear the accumulative weight of all the sorrows has been endured, are shaking. Your fatigue continues to cling to you, as insisted as the fog which rolls along the tombstones in the graveyard at night. You are not so very tired, however, you cannot offer your hostess some comfort. You do not know what you can say to console her. You feel too weary to think of pretty sophisms, but there is something you can think of. You would not typically be so bold, of course, but you are tired enough for once to throw caution to the wind. That and the tears to the gravedigger are awfully arresting. Oh my gosh! Peek! I'm gonna take a screenshot of this because this is cute. Yes, I'm taking a screenshot. Hopefully that don't show on stream because that would be embarrassing. But this is cute. This is my favorite route. Yeah, this is my favorite route out of every route that we played in this game so far. Hell yeah, this is cute. The frick? You open your arms, and before the gravedigger can pass comment, you pull her to your chest. Oh! A soft exclamation escapes the lips of the gravedigger, quieter than the sound of a wintry snow as it brushes the ground. Please, I don't want to get killed by her. I actually like this gravedigger. Please, let me be with her. I'm gonna save again for double measures. Oh wait, I did not save. Yes, I saved, so I can look back at this moment again and again. There is nothing. The gravedigger is stiff in your arms for a few moments, like the corpses she and her father used to seal away inside their wooden coffins. She is all white eyes and awkward, pointed elbows, tears still coursing down her pale cheeks. You worry briefly as you hold her that you have perhaps made a mistake. Your attempts at consoling her too clumsy? You would not know. You have never been in a situation like this before. You have never consoled any friends before because you have never had any friends to console. It's not to now, however. You are far away from your old life as it is possible to be, and the gravedigger does not curse you for your impudence. Neither does she try to squirm away from you. Instead, she sits there like a statue, cradled in your arms. I'm sorry I had to show you something so embarrassing. It's just, it gets so lonely sometimes. Oh my gosh, this is so cute. But this line worries me so much. It gets so lonely. It gets, oh my gosh, let's see. Hopefully I don't die. Until at long last, with a breathy sob, she lets the full weight of her body falls against yours. You run your hands against your sobbing companion's shoulder, blades on her back. Gently, you soothe her. You tell her that she does not need to apologize. There is no shame in crying. You hug her for many, many minutes, while she sobs against your chest, wetting the front of your nightgown. No further words pass between you and that night, but they do not need to. Words are break it down. I can't read. Irrelevant. I ruined the moment, didn't I? I think I did. Oh, that sucks. Words are irrelevant in a moment as tender as this, shared between two souls who have come to understand one another through mutual loneliness. You slide beneath your sheets. You still feel exhausted, and the gravedigger joins you without asking for permission. So we're sleeping together. Okay. What is happening? We are progressing so much. This feels like a bloody romance VN now, you know? It would be an unnecessary piece of politeness, really, given your acceptance is all but assured. You have already accepted the gravedigger after all, every single inch of her. So are we like together now? You have accepted her food. Now you are accepting her company. You arrange yourself beneath the sheets, then draw her body to yours. The gravedigger has not yet changed into her nightwear. Her clothes will be horribly rumped when she awakes come the following morning, her head resting against your chest. But tomorrow has ceased to matter. It no longer exists. There is no concept of time between the two of you. No thought of the day, which is will dawn once this night inevitably ends. Instead, there is only the warmth shared between you and the wetness on the cheeks of the grave digger. There is a sound, irregular now and less intense than before, of your companion's muted, muffled sobs. There is this gentle, tender moment, snatched in the midst of a deep, dark night which can never be replaced. Your eyelids feel heavy as though weighted down with stones. They droop. That's a big word. Inexorably downwards, pulling you like a drowning maiden into the dark, impenetrable abyss of slumber. All of this happened, but this no BGM stuff is really making me scared. I feel like something's gonna happen to us. I feel like some twist is gonna twist. You know, something's gonna happen to us, and we're gonna inevitably die. Maybe. Let's see. You yawn, then you fall asleep. Yeah, you sleep and you sleep and you sleep. Ah, frick! I knew it. God, this breathing is making me scared. Guys, do you see this? Do you see this BS? Like I said, this will inevitably happen. Oh man. Oh, it seems like we're underneath something. This is fun. I thought this rat's gonna be different. I thought the gravedigger and I were gonna be, we're gonna hit it off, but well, I'm just so disappointed. Oh my goodness. But let's continue. The gravedigger too is nowhere to be seen. Instead, you are quite alone, lying by yourself in the dark. Ah, man, I'm disappointed. I thought this will be the route. You blink, but your surroundings do not become any clearer. Is it the middle of the night? Perhaps you're roused from your slumber by the desire to relieve yourself, or else to slake your thirst. Your sleep has been awfully disordered as of late, and the smallest noises have been enough to disturb you. That does not sound quite right, though. You slept well of that. You are certain your body feels invigorated as so it has slumbered for hours and hours. How many hours? You don't know. You don't much know of anything. You can feel strange pinching sensation around your chest, however, and around your arms. It would appear as though somebody else could been have been saved the gravedigger. Change your attire while you were sleeping. Somebody stripped me down, put me on my usual gear, and oh my gosh, braided my hair even. Okay, that is a startling thought, but the darkness which entombs you is even more so. The darkness which surrounds you is unsettling completely. It is so thick you cannot penetrate it. Your newfound woes do not stop, however, at this deep, unnatural darkness. It is cold too, and you're lying upon something hard, some sort of a stone slab. What is going on? You reach out, but your movements are soon steaming? Steam? I don't know how to read that. There's something heavy lying atop you, something that is limiting your movements. You were anxious before upon awaking, but at this discovery, you feel downright aggrieved. A sharp prong of panic pierces you, but you try to suppress it. Hysterics will get you nowhere. In most cases, they only tend to make bad situations even worse. You ought to know that already. You swallow your mounting dread as best as you can, though it is coming on thick and fast, and try to squirm. You move your arms outwards, but they do not get very far. There is a wall above you and walls on either side of you. Are we inside a coffin? I think we're inside the coffin. That is insane. That is insane. How could she do this to me? I thought I actually trusted her. The gravedigger. I was like, this is the route that we won't die. But, well, we have this cute moment too. Well, that meant nothing. That actually meant nothing, I'm afraid. Not, I must add, but you can't push particularly hard. Your anxious state notwithstanding, you have never been this much. What? You have never had much in the way of upper body strength nor lower body strength. You don't have much in the way of strength at all. You feel quite helpless as you lie there, out of breath from your merge exertions, unsure of what you should do. You can hardly see a foot in front of your face. You do not know where you are nor why, but a terrible premonition is beginning to bear down upon you, one which initially you tried to discard. You did not want to accept it. It is a possibility, but where else could the truth lie? You're lying in the box beam in by the walls, which offer only a scant few inches from you to stretch in any direction. We are definitely inside a coffin right now, and we're gonna die. Wow, this is it. We're cooked. Where else could you be but a coffin? And the music comes in. Absolute cinema. The moment you allow yourself to ponder this awful reality is the moment you hear it. The irregular sound of drumming. It is as though somebody is tapping their fingertips upon the lid of your coffin. What a sicko. That, or is it raining? It is not the fingers of a giant, though, which is disturbing you, nor is it falling rain. It is dirt. Yeah, I see. Why would you do this though? Like, what's the explanation here? I thought we were friends. Or maybe even more. God dang, this game is making me lonely. This sound continues on, so it is drilling in its way inside your skull. It is relentless, merciless, like the ticking of a great celestial clock. It cannot be stopped. Your time is almost running out. But you knew that already, didn't you? When you were running through the forest, you had to have known, silly thing, that you could not outspace your destiny forever. Sooner or later, it would catch up with you. You are stubborn, though you don't want to accept this. Not content to simply lie there, you cry out. You cry not for your parents, who you hardly knew, nor for your school friends, for you never had any. Instead, you cry for your new companion, the girl with whom you have been living with, and with whom you shared one precious, cherished moment, with that one cute hug scene that meant nothing. Cry out for the gravedigger. I'm pretty sure she can't hear us, and this is useless. Surely this is a matter of mistake. Once she realized this, you are, in fact, entombed in one of the coffins she is currently filling. Us could be moving dirt above you. She will cease her operations at once? I don't know. She will pull you out of the darkness back into the world of the living. Then she will hold you close. She will embrace you. You're still thinking of nice things. What the freak? She's killing you, burning you alive. She can't mean to cause you any harm, not when she was so good to you, and so kind. Why would she bury you? You cry to her so loudly you fear your vocal cords might tear, all while banging against the roof of your compact prison. You cry desperately, helplessly, and to your relief, you cry, "Do not fall upon deaf ears." The sound of the falling soil stops, albeit briefly. Then you hear a voice. The voice is very faint, given it's being filtered through your coffin's sturdy lid, but you recognize it. How did she know that I'm awake, though? Anyways, so you're awake then, are you, dear one? She sighs. Why? A perplexed sort of voice. No, that is a pickle. I was hoping you'd be asleep a couple hours more, so the last time that we spoke could have been on better terms. What a sicko! If you keep screaming like that, I'm going to feel bad. Your companion's words or distance are unmistakable. You are so tense, you are attuned to every single syllable, and each of them makes you gasp. Was this not a mistake then? Does she truly mean to bury you alive? You posit this question to the gravedigger as best as you can, trying to keep the tremors from your voice as you do. Perhaps you think in your optimism that if you do not let her know how afraid you are, she will reward you for your bravery and let you go. If this is what you're hoping, though, it is in vain. That's right, you really do catch on quick. So it appears she really has committed to the task of burying you. What an unfortunate turn of events. Well. In the end, every woman we met just tried to kill us. Well, not tried, they succeeded, so freak. Why? Why would she do a thing? You thought she was your friend, a tomodachi. Oh god, reading is making me cough. Wait, time first. Pause. I'm just gonna mute real quick. I'm gonna cough. I think I'm good. Maybe not. We are friends, the gravedigger says, her voice still whirling offhand, wearing empty. I'm very fond of you. There's nobody dearer to me than you. That's a lie. I've had a really good time with you these last... How long has it been again? I don't remember. Neither do you. Well, if this little detail has slipped out of your minds, it can't be all that important. You have other things to worry about, like getting the hell out of there. If you really are friends, you say to the gravedigger, then what does she hope to gain by burying you? You do not understand. God, I am coughing for some reason. I'm just gonna read chili because I'm coughing for some reason at the end. Well, that's unfortunate. Okay, I'm gonna read tamely. I don't know what happened, but I'm coughing. But you understand her reply even less. Well, here's the thing. The gravedigger says in a reasonable sort of voice, as though burying somebody alive could never be thought of as a reasonable action. I've been digging graves for a long time, see? You cannot see, it is too dark. Well, I was digging all these graves, but I've not had anybody to put them in, not for ages. It was rather sad. So bro buried me alive because she was sad she was not burying real bodies. So you just want to bury me for a 10-second thrill. Oh my god. That don't make sense at all, bro. I'm facepalming right now. You guys can't see because my PNG can't do that, but I'm actually facepalming. What the freak is this logic? Twisted logic, yeah. You know no good would come out of it. All you can do or the present is lie there and listen. I was thinking I'd never find another person to bury in this godforsaken village, not after the plague messed everything up. I was getting desperate. Until you came along, that is. So is she like... Is this like her kink? Is this like her fetish? She just wants to bury somebody for the thrill? I'm not gonna let the opportunity pass me by, I'm sorry, but this is just part of my job. It's what my father taught me to do, it's all I know how to. I buried my mother and I buried my father, I buried all my friends. Now I'm going to bury you too. It is sound logic, in a sense, as the daughter of a gravedigger digging graves is her job, but something about it rankles you. If only you put your finger on it. Ah yes, there's a bit of a flaw with the reasoning, is there not? You are not dead. Might not be dead now, but you will be, if given enough time. I mean, everybody else I've ever known died who's to say you wouldn't be next. So stupid. So stupid. I feel like the princess route has the only reasonable crash out. Like, everybody left her. Well, never mind. She did not. Oh yeah, she. Never mind. All of these girls don't have any logic at all. It does not make sense. It does not make sense. Let make it make sense. This game don't make sense. But it's fun to read, but still it don't make sense. Their reasoning is just out of this world. It seems rather more likely that you will die and quickly if she persists with her poorly thought out plan to bury you. Her coffin is not very large and affords you precious little space. Eventually, if trapped within it for long enough, you will run out of oxygen, then you will suffocate. That, or you will starve to death. Either way, your demise will be a slow, painful one. You are unsure which death could be worse. How precarious your situation is, you do not wish to expend the energy to ponder it. You need to plead with the gravedigger, and quickly, while she is still here, you tell her tearfully that you would not leave her. Why would you? That's not gonna work. They're sickos. That's not gonna work, bro. You try to sound as convincing as you discovered nerves will allow, but the gravedigger remains unmoved. You say that, but how can I know you're telling the truth? I thought you said you were a traveler. They never stay put in one place for long. You'd get sick of me before long, then you'd leave me. We can travel together, baby girl. What the freak? This way, at least, I can be assured that we'll always stay together. What a logic. What a logic. What a game. If I bury you like I did the others, we'll never be far apart. I even took care to put you in a nice spot close to my home, so you're only stone's throw away, really. Isn't that nice? Privately, you think that the gravedigger has a different conception of the word nice to you. You don't say this, however. You cannot say much of anything because the panic has begun to set in and it's choking you, stopping your throat so you can only cry. You scream, you beg, and you plead, but it does a little good. You're cooked. The gravedigger has already buried her mother. She has already buried her little brothers. And her next. Or absolutely next. She has even buried her father, whom she loved above all. She thinks by burying you, she is doing unto you an act of great kindness. You think she is going to kill you. In a sense, you're both right. Your opinions are so diametrically opposed in this matter, however, that you will never be able to find any common ground. You might as well save her screaming. She'll not listen to you. Yeah, just accept it. She is beyond listening. Shush, 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 dear one. Very gently as she spoke last night when she goes, shut up, I hate this. It will be bad, really. Nothing will be able to hurt you. Nothing will be able to hurt you down there. Yes, because it's up there, but this will be like going to sleep for a really, really long time. You can rest, and while you rest, I'll tend to you. I'll plant flowers on your grave. You'd like that, wouldn't you? This way, we can always be together, and I'll never be lonely again. While the gravedigger speaks, she begins to pile even more soil into the roof of your coffin. The sound of dirt on top of you, on your arms, your legs, and your head conceals your companion's final words. You cannot hear her. You cannot hear anything beyond the sound of the dirt and the scrapings of the shovel. On your own desperate, frantic screams, you scream and you scream and scream. You hammer on the lid of the coffin, much strength as you can muster, but the lid of the coffin is nailed shut. You are in no position to remove it. All you can do is lie there, screaming and crying, banging on your fists on the roof of your coffin over and over again. Eventually, enough dirt falls on you to stifle your screams for good. The gravedigger can no longer hear you, and you can no longer hear her. You are all alone, trapped in a narrow wooden box. which regardless of what you want, is not your new home. Wouldn't I suffocate there? You can smell the soil in the backs of your nostrils when you inhale. It is so potent that you can taste it on your tongue. You can taste the eventual inevitable decay of your own body. You will remain trapped here underground forever and ever, or to use less melodramatic terms, until the last of your energy escapes you and you succumb to your own slow suffocation. Yeah, we're dead. It isn't a very pleasant way to go, but you'll forgive me if my sympathy is limited. You did bring this upon yourself, you know. I don't have a choice, game. This is what you... Okay. You reap what you saw, and in your case, you made a series of bad decisions that led to your ultimately demise. Now, what do you want to do? Will you accept this fate? How will I fight against it? How will I fight against it if this is... This is it, right? This is it. How will I fight against this? We can't... Let's try to fight against it. Wait, let's... I don't know. Let's try to fight against it. I mean, let's accept it first, actually. Very well, enjoy your eternal slumber. I suppose it's a good night for now, but it's not goodbye. You gotta escape from me. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, words forsaken, I will never leave you. I'm dead. You will never be lonely again. Wow. Okay. I know that will happen, but there's no other routes available. What could have happened if we fight against it? Are you not happy with the hand that fate has dealt to you? Very well, I cannot blame you. It is quite a grim ending. Now I wish upon my worst enemy, and you're rather dear to me than that. Now, why don't you give this another go? Just try not to be buried alive this time. It'll endure so much of your screaming. Your fate is once again your ass. I wonder, which path will you take? Yeah, there's nothing here. Give up? No, that's such a dark, twisted ending if we're just gonna give up like that. That's it? We're just gonna give up? Bro. That's sad. I don't wanna... Okay, we're just gonna give up then. Wow. Give up. So you've come back here, have you? That does not come as much of a surprise. Though presented with the 3 potential paths, it is not as though traversing any of them would have any particular impact upon your ultimate fate. In the end, you were always destined to return here. Did you really think you had a choice? How hopelessly naive of you. I thought that you were smarter than that, so who was chasing us this entire time? Your breath, which once escaped your lips in sharp rag gasp, is now on the verge of petering out altogether. Your lungs feel deflated as though they have been punctured. Your blood is rushing to your temples in a heady, overwhelming surge. Your stomach, meanwhile, has twisted itself into the knots. Your body feels heavy, your legs in particular, they no longer wish to obey you. You take a stumbling step forward and your foot gets caught in a tree root. We're dead. You're certain that you passed this route once already, and that you sidestepped it, but perhaps your memory is beginning to fail you, just like the rest of your body. Oh, this is... okay. We're dead. You gasp, surprised, and pitch forwards, dull and senseless, like a sack full of potatoes. That's some great analogy. Wow. We're thinking a sack of potatoes while being in this mess. Wow. What a game. What a messed up game. Your arm hits the ground with a crack, one which makes you cry out in pain. Tears begin to bead on your arms. In your eyes, I mean, not arms. That would be weird. That's wet. Wet and salty tears which you cannot... What the freak is that word? You're not as resilient as the gravedigger, nor as carefree as the princess. If you live underwater like the mermaid, then nobody at the very least would be able to tell that you're crying, but you do not And I can. Believe me, I can. Your arm aches dreadfully, but at least you can feel it. Your poor feet, meanwhile, have gone quite numb. You would try to stand, had you the energy, but you know, as you sit there dazed, that this would be a futile effort. You cannot stand, not any longer. It hurts too much. You really have been through a lot tonight, haven't you? I fear I have not been very kind to you, but you ought to be accustomed to hardship. Why, then, are you crying? You always have been a crybaby. That's why they only tease you so much. It is because they knew they would be guaranteed a reaction. You're very predictable. And even now, after you tried to borrow my power for your own purposes, you have not changed at all. Who is this speaking, by the way? As you sit there sobbing, you hear, or you think you can hear, footsteps approaching you. There to your right is the snapping of a twig, your left, the telltale rustle of leaves. Your every sense feels razor sharp, honed to a knife's point by anxiety. You are so panicked. You feel as though you're going to be sick. If you want to vomit, then why not? There's no shame in it. There's nobody here to judge you. Nobody but me. I've always been here, you know. I always be here. No matter how fast you try to run or how far. Did you really think you could escape me? Poor sweet child. Poor little fool. I did tell you that a contract with a witch is binding. Oh, we were getting chased by a witch. We got cursed. Now that's a twist. Wow. I mean, it's not a twist, but that's cool. That's why we keep dying. And the narration feels like somebody's talking to us. I see. No amount of physical distance between the both of us could ever sever it. I told you I would never let you be lonely, and I meant it. But I have had rather enough of these little games. It is time for me to collect my collateral. Oh, wait a minute. Screenshot that. Let me screenshot that. What the freak? The witch is kinda... Hey, baby girl. I mean, the witch is kinda... I mean, I have not seen a witch in my life, but if that's the witch, then oh my gosh, maybe she could charm me a little. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. A soft gasp escapes your throat as you feel arms wind their way about your back. Naturally, you know whose arms they are. They are mine. Been watching you all night, and it is the first time I've reached out to you in so direct a manner. You do not expect me to be so forward? I can hear your heart fluttering in your chest. It is beating very quickly, like a startled rabbit's. Your breaths are short and sharp. It is a cold night, and though I am holding you, you are still shaking. I wish you would not tremble so. Everybody fears the unknown, but we are not strangers. You have spoken before, have you not? When you first called me forth from the ether, using that book you found in the library? You were desperate enough then to turn to the occult for help. Wow, the lore drop is insane all of a sudden. You pleaded with me to use my magic for your behalf. You begged me, implored, and you entreated, and you willed it, and you whined. And though I had some reservations, you forced my hand. I had no choice. In the face of your desperation, no. You did not want to be lonely anymore. You wanted to have friends. Somebody would always be there for you no matter what. You wanted somebody to love you. Is that not what you demanded of me? Is that not what I have given you? You might think me wicked, but I think you're being awfully cruel to yourself to run from me after I made all your wishes come true. I did think, about punishing you for running away from me. I thought of bucking out your eyes so that you might never see anybody other than me. I thought of cutting off your long, lovely hair so that nobody might ever think how you beautiful but me. I thought of breaking your legs so that you might never be able to escape from me. Damn. She's kinda... Oh my gosh. Okay. I turn all these intriguing ideas over in my mind, but I am a merciful witch. Though you hurt me, I did not wish to hurt you. You ask, after all, that I love you, and that is what I did. I have drowned you in my love. I have buried you beneath my love. I have swallowed you with my love. You have always been a sad, lonely girl, one who has been starved of affection. Nobody has ever cared for you. Your life has been a barren, empty wasteland, one devoid of any fonder feelings. That is why I had to drown you, you see. That is why I had to bury you. That is why I had to swallow you. In the end, I was doing you a favor. I was doing it all for you, in that sense. You're very lucky, do you know that? There are few people in the world that have had the privilege of being loved to the brink of insanity quite this many times in one night. There are few people in the world who can claim to have been loved by a witch. Yo, this is crazy. This just took a turn. Man, I love this. I'm gonna save this. Let's save this. Yes, sir. We're gonna save that. You have experienced so much love without to have slaked, even your unquenchable thirst. You know now what it feels like to be adored. I have more than upheld my end of the bargain. Now I think it is time that you do the same. From this night forth, you and I will always be together, and I shall be able to love you endlessly. You'll never be lonely again. Oh my gosh. Dare I say, absolute cinema. That was fun. Now, the village route, out of the 3 routes, are my favorite. Let's look at the extras. The extras. Yes. Oh, wait, what is this? There's another picture here? What is this picture? Why don't I know that picture? Oh, is it the witch? Yeah, I think it's the witch. I think that's not loaded yet. That's cool. But yeah, oh my gosh, what a game. Wow. That was fun. Peep the drip. Yes. Yimps. But yeah, that was It Gets So Lonely Here. What a game. The village route was my favorite out of all the 3 routes. And wow, that was fun. I was begging for a lore drop, like who was chasing us and what is happening and why is the narrator feels like it's talking to us. And I got what I what I was asking for at the end. It is a witch after all. And yeah, that was fun. That was fun. What a visual novel, man. As always, if you want to check the game link on the description, if you want to check the game, it's on my description down below. To support the original creators, they are very smart for creating this game. But yes, I think I'll have to go for now. Thank you to those who joined, who dropped by. I see a couple of people drop by while I was in the middle of the story, which is nice. Thank you for those who did that. But yeah, it is I, Sir Bobby Buvett, and I will go for now and conquest on a different accord. I don't know what I don't know what I just said, but yes, I just meant that I'll see you guys on the next stream. And yes, that was It Gets So Lonely Here. Pretty good game. So yeah, see you guys on the next stream. Follow my Twitter to see the updates. So yeah, it's on the description down below as well. So yeah, I don't know what to say. I'm not good at outros. Capiche?